Good evening, Vancouver. Welcome back to Canucks After Dark. It is Monday, November the 3rd, and we're doing a post-game show after a Canucks win for the first time this season. Now, normally, we only have a few Monday night games a year, but I guess with the Olympic schedule, we're going to have a few more this season, I'm assuming, based on we're having two already. But the Canucks coming off of an overtime win, almost a shootout, against the Nashville Predators, and a 2-1 road trip in which a lot of points were dished out. But as always, joined by my co-host Canuck Clay. How are we doing this evening?
Hello, friend. 3 quick points, 3 quick observations as we start off the show, Parker. Number one, it feels like we just did a show, doesn't it? Even though it was only one day later, like the Tuesday to Monday gap seems really short. So that's the first thing. Number two, happy to be back on Monday. It just feels right. And I know we don't worry too much about numbers. We're doing fine, but definitely notice a difference when we don't do our show in a regular Monday slot. And number three, exactly what you led with. It's so much better. It's so much more fun. We're smiling more when we are talking, not only after a Canucks game, but especially a Canucks win. They never make it easy on themselves, but it's a win.
It's a win, and it was a weird week for the Canucks because it was, two games, like 2 wins in overtime, both of which had a lot of flaws, right? And I think especially that St. Louis game, there was a lot of flaws in the way the Canucks played that game. And I didn't like their game against Minnesota very much. Yeah. And I didn't like their third period against Nashville tonight. So for a team that has, is 2-1 on this road trip and is back to 500 at 7-7, and it's not a great place to be, right? 68 games to go in the season, and we figure you got to be 14-15 games above 500 by the end of the year.
3 a month. Yeah, 3 a month.
It's you're falling behind early, right? You've got to make that up, and you can look at it as 500 and you're not that far out of it, but as you said before we started, most teams are 500 and above. There are only 5 teams in the NHL that are below 500 as of today. And that is the Nashville Predators, who, if they had won tonight, they would have been at 500. The Minnesota Wild, the San Jose Sharks, the St. Louis Blues, and the Calgary Flames. And that's it. Yeah. Right? Every other team in the NHL is at 500 or above. So while it's nice the Canucks have gotten wins in 4 overtime games, or 4, let's say, post-regulation games, with how they played in overtime and shootout last year, they could very well be 3-7-4 at this point, right? If those flip the other direction, and suddenly it's a disaster. So I'm still very tentative to make any big statements about this team. Of course, the title that I put on here is undefeated in big capital letters because it's kind of funny that they're winning games in overtime, but they're playing a dangerous game here.
Yeah, and I love the point you made last week's show, Parker, when we had the abbreviated week, right? Because we were on Tuesday night after that Rangers, that debacle. And you said, the Canucks are playing 3 games on the road, all against 6-7-8 Central or 8-7-6, whatever. You said descending order. But basically, it was the 3 worst teams in the Central Division. And we both, I think, predicted 2-0-1 or 2-1. So we're happy. But you're right. I was tracking these records. And because already, just 1 month in the season, there have been so many extra time games, and all you have to do is look at two columns in the overall standings. You can look at how many teams have a third number, right? Blank, blank, and blank. That third number is losses in extra time, and that doesn't tell you how many they've won. But then you can go wins, subtract regulation wins. Montreal, 5 of their wins are extra time. Vancouver, 4. So you can just see. My point is, there's so many points being thrown around, Parker. So your point off the top was so good. Is that we're 500, and I think when you take the 20,000 foot view, we should be happy that we're 500 given the rash of injuries that we've suffered through and the fact we've only played 5 home games, home record notwithstanding. So that's fine. In isolation, that's fine. We can be actually proud of the way the Canucks have played for the most part. However, you don't get points for pride or for participation points. We got to go 3 games over 500 for the remaining 5 months of the season, and that's a tall task. It's a tall task.
It is a tall task, and like if you just only focus on regulation time, the Canucks are 3-7, right? 3-7-4 ties through regulation.
So they've won 3 games outright out of 14, is what you're saying.
correct.
Wow.
Right? Wow. Like that's, if you just focus on the 60 minutes that everyone gets, again, it's great that they've, gotten to overtime and gotten those wins, and in some in dramatic fashion, but it's a scary trend that they're not closing out games. They're not, like a blown lead in St. Louis, right? A blown lead tonight. They didn't have the lead in Minnesota. But again, like their third periods have been pretty bad this season. The stat they showed on the broadcast at the end of the second intermission was the Canucks have the most share of their goals coming in the second period of any team. It was something like 48% of the Canucks goals have come in the second period this season.
Wow.
And that's that's nice. It's nice that, hey, they're getting leads in the second period, but then the third period, they're not producing any offense, right?
Great point. Yeah, you think of the Montreal and Edmonton back-to-back where they gave up 2-goal leads in the third. Tonight, they gave up a 2-goal lead in the third. That's a great point, and that's probably a big reason why they're not winning in regulation, because they don't score in the third period. That's a great point. So half of their goals, basically, you're saying, are scored in the middle frame.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I look at the St. Louis game, right, where the Canucks got outshot 39-18. Against one of the worst teams in hockey, the St. Louis Blues, to start this season. That's a terrible place to be to begin with. But, shots in the first period were even, essentially. And then in the second, 11-4 St. Louis. And the third, 16-5 for St. Louis. Now, Minnesota, they were more even shots in every period. And they ended up being 28-28. But then even tonight, right? 12-4 Vancouver in the first, 14-10 Vancouver in the second. They got outshot 14-8 in the third. And blow that 2-goal lead. Now, was there a very questionable high sticking call in that third period tonight? Sure. But like this, watching the first two games of this week coming into tonight, I knew that I wasn't going to have a super positive tone no matter really what happened tonight, because at the end of the night, even if they blew out the Predators, it's still blowing out the Predators after having two not very good games against the two other worst teams in the Central Division.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, thanks everyone for being here. As people pile in to the show, thank you. You know that Parker and I don't ignore you intentionally, but we like to blab to each other for the first 45 to 50 minutes, and then we'll allow the last 10 minutes for you guys for sure. So please feel free to ask questions, answer each other's questions. We will get to you, and we appreciate you. But Parker and I like to catch up for the first bit first, especially on a game night. Okay, am I being too optimistic? Like, you know me, king of positivity, blah, blah, blah. Not a shtick. It's who I am. Am I going too easy on them, Parker, when I say, given their injuries and the fact that they compressed on the road, blah, 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 let's be happy with 7-7? Is that a bit of a cop-out, or do you feel what I'm selling here?
I can see where you're coming from, but I'm not in that boat.
Okay.
I'm very, and again, it's only 14 games at the same time. That's like, what, 20% of the season almost? It's 17% of the way through the season. Yeah. We're almost, we're a sixth of the way through the year. It's gonna fly by with this condensed schedule, and just like looking at the games that they've played, I'm not seeing enough. That's like Demko's been really good. A couple players have been good, but like just looking at the games that they've won and lost, right? Like I'm very cautious about how this team's playing so far. Especially nights like tonight, like this whole road trip, this should have been 3 games where even if they had the same result, right? And I would say going into this road trip, 2-1 should have been the expected result. Sure. Going into this road trip, and maybe you get lucky, go 3-0, or you get some bad bounces. But what I don't want to see is getting handily outshot in St. Louis. Yeah. Right. And looking just like statistically, expected goals at 5-on-5. Tonight they had 33% of the expected goals at 5-on-5, right? Yeah. They were pretty thoroughly outplayed. Goals wise, 2-1 in favor of Nashville. Shot attempts 56-38 in favor of Nashville. Scoring chances 20-12. High danger chances 9-5. Every single metric at 5-on-5 tonight, Nashville dominated, which shouldn't happen. But the Canucks, capitalize on the power play. Twice and get the last second OT winner. But to me, that's not, I can't really forgive that when that's 2 games on this 3-game trip against 3 of the worst teams in hockey that they just didn't look very good.
Yes. Good point. And Lanky, thank you for You're right there.
Yep, just a little fruit fly in here.
Well, good. You went Mr. Miyagi on him. That's awesome. Okay, so Lanky, thank you for proclaiming your membership for 2 months and then for turning around and gifting a membership. And it goes to Jessica. So thank you, Lanky, for your support and welcome to supporter level or membership level supporter is what we call it. Jessica, that is awesome. Hey, I know you're not on X anymore, but Jay Fresh, I know you followed his stuff when you were on X. He did a chart of expected goals per game. And surprise, surprise, the Canucks are the absolute bottom of the chart.
Yeah, I think I pulled it up last week.
It's gotten worse. Yeah.
Oh, good. That's what we were hoping for. Jeez. Yeah, I had it. I wanted to see the.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many stats on Natural Stat Trick that are great, but that was the big one. Is they're just not. It's just I'm just not sold yet.
So let's say Garland comes back sometime either Wednesday or for Wednesday game or the weekend. Let's say Blueger's back by the weekend, for instance. Let's just say, is that enough? Does that move the needle at all? Garland does. It must.
Garland does.
Yeah.
I don't know if he moves it enough. Same with Blueger. But yeah, like even just I'm just pulling this stat up here, right? Expected goals for it at 5-on-5 only. Canucks are 12th in the NHL, but all the teams that have fewer than them have are very low event, right? Yeah. Like Seattle has the lowest expected goals, which is kind of fair, but like Vegas is second lowest at expected goals at 5-on-5, but they have a positive rate because they also have no expected goals against. Basically, they have the lowest in hockey, so they're just playing very stingy. But if you just go expected goals percentage, it is Winnipeg at the worst, which is crazy because they're 9-3. San Jose, Seattle, and then Vancouver at number 4.
Okay. Gotcha. By the way, it's really funny. Our app, StreamYard, is showing these memberships are coming from one person. And then YouTube is showing it's coming from someone else because our friend Jay uses like multiple names across multiple accounts. So it's funny. In the chat, they're seeing Lanky, but I put it up as Go Canucks Go. It's the weirdest thing. Regardless, Jay, we are grateful for you pumping all these memberships out. One goes to Grim Studio, one goes to Bob Blueger. Thank you, Jay/Lanky/Go Canucks Go. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so expected. It's just man, and I don't want to get too negative because I was happy that Besser got 3 points. I was happy that Kane actually got 2 goals that counted. I was happy for a bunch of things tonight. So I don't know if you want to go. We usually go backwards, right, on a night where the Canucks play because it's so fresh, correct?
Yeah. And, Forsberg opens the scoring, and Philip Forsberg had a great night for Nashville.
So
I don't know what his shot total ended up at, but I know he was at 8. He ended up with 9 shots tonight. He was by far the best player out there and tried to will this team. But yeah, so Forsberg opens the scoring in the first. I actually kind of missed this goal because I think I was making dinner.
I actually remember this one. Petey did actually a weak attempt to push the puck down in the zone. They turned it around and then it went wide to the right winger, and Hughes stepped up on him, tried to intercept the pass, and then it became a quasi 2-on-1 with Pedersen and Hughes not showing the fastest recovery speed I've ever seen. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha. Yeah, Canucks do answer though, power play, and the power play was good to see here because the last Canucks Predators game, the power play looked terrible because the Predators are a super aggressive penalty kill and the Canucks just didn't know how to react. But this is Evander Kane in the Elias Pettersson spot, ripping a one-timer. This fruit fly is still here. Ripping a one-timer. It was well placed, great shot. That got past Saros. To tie the game. First period was good, right? And again, the first 40 minutes, the Canucks played really good, but they just sat back in the third, and that's where I get frustrated. But second period, they're on another power play, and this time it's DeBrusk on a really nice play because it was a 5-on-3. Guy comes out of the box to make it a 5-on-4. Canucks don't really panic. Pedersen fires it sort of backdoor to Besser, who tries to go backdoor to Kane. DeBrusk has a stick on the ice, and that sort of bounces its way through to make it 2-1.
Yeah, I love what you said about the panic because when they showed the replay, you can see the Predator escaping the penalty box, and he's booting it, right? And the Canucks are just la-di-da, like just passing the puck around. Is that the one where Pettersson put it through the Nashville forward's legs? It
Something
is, right?
like that.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Yeah. Awesome.
And then a couple minutes later, just 2 minutes later, basically, Villander drives behind the net, tries to play it in front for Reichel. It bounces to Besser. And this is just a stupid shot. It is perfectly top corner. It's an inch to the right. It's off the post. An inch up. It's off the crossbar. It's a perfect shot. No chance for Saros. He's got his, that was his first of the game, fifth of the year, and Villander's first NHL point, which is good to see.
Yeah. It was Villander from his Swedish counterpart, rookie defenseman, DPD. That was nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, those plays. So you're a defenseman, Parker, and you play hockey. Like, generally, I get that defensemen usually don't make it to the behind the other net. But was it fair to say that was I know it was a bit of a fluky pass, but the fact that he didn't go all the way around and he kind of he looked for that quick seam pass, that was kind of unexpected, but a good play, I guess.
Yeah, you sort of have three options where Villander's going, and it's always tricky as a D-man because you're not always used to making that rush.
Yeah.
And you don't always, especially as a guy who's played on the team for like 4 games, you don't know where everyone's going, right? Because you'll have, you really have 3 options. You can either take it in and button hook at the hash marks to try to create separation. You can try to throw it on net, or you can skate it all the way around.
Right.
And if you're skating it all the way around, you then get more options of basically right when you get to the post, you can either try to sort of go against the grain and go back in front of the net, or you can take it around. Whenever I do this rush in beer league, I always try to, I've started button hooking because it works way better, but I usually try to go behind the net and then sort of reverse pass back against the grain after the goalie's moved. And there's usually nobody there.
Right.
So it never works. So that's the tricky part, right? Is knowing where people are. And at the NHL level, you usually are going to have someone going to the net. And he throws it in front, which is a smart play. Now he could have taken it around and, tried to find Besser, but it just happened to bounce to Besser instead, which worked out.
Right. I like Reichel's play there. So I know he hasn't really contributed offensively, but Reichel did drive the net, and then he actually took 1 or 2 Predators' attention away. And yes, I know the puck went off a skate or something, and Besser was opportunistic, but I did like Reichel's play there. So he anticipated that pass as well and drew a couple guys. So I'm not looking for ways to pump Reichel's tires. I think that was a good play. It doesn't mean he got a point off it, obviously, but it was a good play by him. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
And then, late goal on the power play for the Preds. It's Holla. This was, which one was this? They just played it
to
in
the bumper.
front.
Yeah.
Just a bumper goal.
Yeah.
This thing is making me mad. I can't get them either.
They're jerks.
3-2 with a minute to go in the second. That's one of those tough ones, right? Because you're about to go in with a 2-goal lead.
Yes.
They get one back. But I do like the way the Canucks answered to start the third. Evander Kane getting a goal. And this was, Hughes at the point, doing his normal thing, skating around, down low to Pettersson, throws it in front. This is on a delayed penalty too.
Yeah.
And this was a sweet goal. Because they set up, it's sort of, Nashville's again going high pressure, right? Like, let's just don't give these guys any time, knock them off the puck. So it goes to Hughes. Hughes makes a nice little move to get a little bit of separation, goes down the wall. Interesting choice with the delayed penalty to put out a third defenseman for maybe Hughes is the one they put out, which would make sense.
Right.
Plays it down to Pettersson, who plays it in front for Linus Karlsson, and he just chops at the puck to the wide open side, and Kane has a wide open net. Now, the replay on this cracks me up. And I remember, I don't have it here, but I remember watching on the broadcast, they have a replay, sort of the lower angle showing from center ice.
Yeah.
And right when that puck goes to Kane, there's a guy in a Canucks jersey who stands up and does this because he knows it's going in. And then you watch the replay, and Saros's glove is like this far away from getting to this puck, which would have been insane.
Wait, one of the players on the bench did this, or one of the players on the ice did this?
No, it was a fan in the
a
fan in the
fan.
stands.
Okay, sorry.
Like 8 rows up. But yeah, it was a good shot. A great play by Carlson. Saros almost had it though.
You know, Hughes, if they counted third assists, he'd have 2 points, right? Because he was the one who initiated that before PD DeBesser to DeBrus, that second goal for the Canucks. And then this one, exactly what you said, is he evaded that guy, gets it down to Marcus Pettersson, who's for some reason he's in the corner. Then it gets to Carlson to Kane. So yeah, Hughes held out the score sheet tonight, but noticeable in that, yeah, he would have had 2 points if they counted third assist kind of thing. So yeah, he was the driver of that. Yeah, you're right. The extra man coming over the bench for sure, over the boards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Bunting gets a bit of a fluky one. Canucks just couldn't clear the zone for a while.
That was bad.
Goes back to the point. Shot gets through. It's probably going wide. Bunting turns the skate, goes in, which is unfortunate. And then with this Evander Kane penalty, my immediate reaction was, "Are you kidding me, Evander Kane? Why did you high stick the guy?"
Yes.
And then you watch the replay, and I don't remember who it was, but he goes to hit Kane, gets low, and puts his head right into Evander Kane's stick, which is at like, I don't know, stomach height. Like it's not even chest height. And he gets called for high sticking on that, which is that's just brutal. But Blankenberg scores shot from the point that Demko never saw really. He's sort of awkward. Bunting was right next to his glove. And that one gets through to force overtime. And then, wow, what a boring overtime. If you like 4 minutes and 15 seconds of one team controlling the puck and not doing anything,
The fans were not having it.
no, and I don't blame them. But I was actually laughing the whole time. Like, yeah, they're doing the right thing, because I guess they just figure, hey, we've got better odds in the shootout, basically.
Yeah, didn't Shorty say that too? Like he said, the Canucks are playing patient. They're fine going to the shootout with Demko and Neck, sort of. Yeah.
Well, Demko is one of the best shootout, or was it Lankinen is one of the best shootout?
No,
goalies
Lankinen's
ever.
the good one, actually.
Yeah. They just put him in for the for the shootout. But no, this is a really nice goal. Because off the face-off, 10 seconds left. It's sort of a tie-up on the draw, and I like this. It's sort of a set play from Nashville, right? They're hoping to win it back to Shea, and then I don't know exactly what the play is, if they're going to go bank off the boards to a streaking Forsberg to play. I like to do, again, in beer league where it's pretty low level, is as I play D, if I get that face off back, I want one guy to just go and I just lob it to center ice and hope for a bounce and a breakaway. Which is basically what they were hoping to do. But so Forsberg and Kane are just gone, or Forsberg and Hughes are just gone. They're playing a different game. They're at the Canucks blue line, basically. And there's no point in them coming back because like 4 seconds left. So yeah, just sort of a weird play, weird battle on the wall. O'Reilly looks like he's going to have a chance to clear it out. And Pettersson just reaches around and chops it with like the heel of the stick to the middle to Besser, backhand far post with I think 1.6 on the clock to win it.
Awesome. And then I think someone it might be Shorty on the broadcast, thought that PD one-handed it, which would have been amazing. But I've watched it a few times. I think he definitely was skating with one hand, but then in the last second, exactly. But still, the Canucks really pull out some miraculous wins in Nashville. I love it. They must love playing there.
Yeah, Besser must like playing there.
Yes, Besser especially.
He is.
By the way, adequately caffeinated. His asked us like 3 times, so I think you should answer it. What are you drinking? He's asked it like 3 times.
It is a little bit of cold brew and caramel macchiato international delight creamer.
Wow.
I was having, I need a little bit of pick me up at like 9:30 and I never finished it.
Love it. People don't bother asking me because they know it's either Pepsi or Coke always. So
I do have a Coke Zero as well.
Love it. Oh, what? 2 drinks. You can give yourself stomachache, man.
It's just liquid.
All right. So do you walk out of there saying, wow, we escaped. Wow, what a gritty win. Wow, we're 7-7. Like, what was your reaction after Besser scored?
It was more thank goodness. I didn't really want to sit through a shootout. Even though they've been good at them. I was fired up. I was happy they won. They need these wins. They need to get as many as they can because they are, again, like we said, they have the 8th or 7th worst record in the NHL, essentially. Which 7-7 on its own seems pretty good, but there's been so many, like you said, so many overtime games this year to start it off. There's how many teams are above 600? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 teams are above 600. Like the worst record in that group is 6-3-3.
Yeah.
So
a couple of anomalies on the score. Well, it's great. Besser got 3, Kane got 2 goals. PD got 2 assists, which is awesome. Sherwood no goals, so don't know what's wrong with it. I'm just kidding. But if I was to tell you that 4 of the 6 defensemen got a point and Hughes wasn't one of them, that's kind of interesting. Of course, we just talked about how he could have 2 secondary assists, but overall it's good. It's good. This is again without regulars Garland, Bluger, Hedel, Hoglander, and then I don't know where you put Man City, Forbert, and Leckerbacke, but that we're still 7 guys down, so crazy.
Yeah, too many guys are down, which is unfortunate. Yeah, Hughes sort of first game back too.
Yep.
Looked okay.
What'd you think of his game?
He hasn't looked the same this year.
You're not sold on him, are you? Like, it's just his health.
Yeah. And I feel like he's trying to do way too much on his own compared to normal. Not necessarily saying it's a bad thing, but he looks like he has a different play style, and he looks like he's playing more selfish. He had 6 shots tonight. Like he's trying to throw the puck on net a lot. I don't know if that's just a coaching decision, saying like, "Hey, rip it, like shoot more. You have a decent shot." But like first game back from injury, he played 28 minutes, which is
probably played 4 of the 5 minutes in overtime, right?
And that probably wasn't a very taxing amount of time, right? Just doing circles in the neutral zone. But and it was also interesting. They put him with Myers tonight. For the most part.
Good point.
Which I don't hate. Hronik has looked good without him.
Hronik and Marcus Pettersson. That's obviously not an indictment on Hughes or Myers. It's more of when Hughes was out, they tried Hronik and Marcus Pettersson, and then they split them up. Remember, they went with the 3 kind of rookies or inexperienced with the 3 veterans. So it makes sense. If you're going to do a top 4, Myers and Hronik can be interchangeable, especially if you want Hronik to carry a pair. I agree. By the way, I did not know this. All this time I thought Garland was going to be back quicker than Bluger, but then a fangirl said Bluger back sooner than Garland. Foot mentioned it. I did not know that. Yeah, surprised.
I will say that's worse. Nothing against Bluger, but
I agree.
Top 6.
Yeah, I agree.
Although I guess Bluger might be top 6 right now too.
You could be top 6. You and the fruit fly. Did you get it, by the way, or
no? He's still doing something. I haven't had a fruit fly in here in forever too. It's just bad timing.
Yeah. All good.
How about Lucas Reichel becoming a center?
Yeah, they're talking. It's interesting because I do recognize his speed. Like there are a couple forays. Like one I remember, especially on a power play, where he easily gained the zone for the team. I mentioned that nice drive play on Besser's goal, but 0 points in 6 games now since he's been here, and you can't use the excuse that he was parachuted in because he's a good player. Like he knows how to play hockey. So I don't give that excuse anymore. Acclimated to a new team. I just think, if Bluger's back soon, that's really interesting. Because then do you put Reichel on the wing and just let him fly up and down the side? And
he's just not a center.
Yeah, you go Sasson and Ratu with Bluger. Yeah.
He's just not a center. He's at 41% on the dot. His second best season ever on the faceoff circle, by the way. But he's not a center. He's fast. And he can create some chances. Doesn't look like he does a ton of finish, maybe. I think if you can put him on the wing and take that responsibility off of him, I think that's when you might unlock something there.
What would you think of, let's say everyone's healthy, and let's say somehow it's PD and Ratu as your top 2 centers, okay? Let's just say that. Then Sasson and Bluger, okay? Let's just say those are your centers. I think we'd agree the top 4 wingers are Besser, Garland, DeBrusk, and Kane. Could you see a third line of Ratu or Bluger or Sasson, whatever, if you don't want to break up the Abbotsford line, with Sherwood on the right and Reichel on the left? That's pretty fast, like intriguing line.
Yeah, I think that is good. I also I don't know. I think right now Sherwood might be a top 6 winger.
Yeah.
regardless. And honestly, I might want the way from what I've seen. And again, he's got no points, but just the play style is. I don't hate Reichel in that 2 LW spot instead of Kane either.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like sure, Kane scored twice tonight, but you know he also has taken a bunch of penalties and has looked fairly slow. He's on pace for 40 points. That's great. You know, that's more than the 0 that I guess Reichel's on pace for more than 0 because he has 4 points this year with Chicago. But, you know, I wouldn't hate to see him, playing a little bit up the lineup.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting though. If you keep Sherwood on the right as a righty and let's say everyone's healthy, you can't play him ahead of Besser or Garland, can you?
No, probably not.
Right.
But he also has a lot of goals.
No, he does. And 0 assists. Oh, by the way, why? I don't get it. Why do people call him that a Cy Young thing? I don't get it. Like when you have all goals and no assists, is that? I've heard that referred to as a Cy Young, which I know is the best pitcher in the league. So, but I don't get what that has to do with no assists. Does anyone know in the chat? Let me know. I have no clue. Have you heard that before?
I haven't. No.
Okay.
I mean, maybe do it all yourself, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, actually, maybe that's it. Maybe that is it, actually. Okay. Well, I guess we don't have to worry about it till Bluger and or Garland get back. But this team, grinds out 2 of the 3 wins on this road trip. So I guess we're not complaining. I don't have much to say about the Minnesota game. My mom told me to say, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
No, and did anyone watch that game? Anyways, like,
Connor had 2 goals, so we gotta respect that.
like I did not watch that Minnesota game. Like,
Yeah, I watched it and I can't remember it. Yeah,
there was a slightly larger sporting event on that night.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't watch it either. Yeah.
I had no interest. I think I had 25 people in my house watching the Blue Jays game.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, quick aside. What was the mood like? Like, was everyone going for Blue Jays? Was it split?
Most people weren't there for the baseball game. We were having just a big dinner, sort of Thanksgiving style of thing. But
awesome.
There was a few people who were Blue Jays fans, and everyone was sort of watching the game and like casually cheering for the Blue Jays with a couple diehards. And that was the first time I had been cheering for the Blue Jays solely because I wanted the vibes to be good.
Yeah.
While everyone was at my house. And they weren't after, but it actually wasn't too bad. But
no fights or no.
No, couple sad people. And they, you know what? They took it better than I was. Like, I was thinking, like, if I was in that spot where the Mariners or the Seahawks or the Canucks lost Game 7 of the final or the Super Bowl, and I'm there with a bunch of casual fans who don't care that much, I think I'd just leave. Like, I just would need time to myself, which is, which would be tough.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, is AI overview, but I trust AI sometimes. In hockey, calling a player a Cy Young is an unofficial tongue-in-cheek nickname for a player who has a significantly higher number of goals and assists. The team is a humorous reference to the Major League Baseball Cy Young Award, which is giving annually the best pitcher in the league in baseball. Pitchers' effectiveness is largely measured by their wins and relatively few losses. Okay, so wins, losses versus goals, assists. Whatever. And I agree with you about doing it all alone. Whatever. Okay, thank you for allowing me that second. Okay, so no one fought.
St. Louis game was like a week ago, I was going to say, but
yeah, we don't. Yeah, at least we won. That was the one Sherwood hat trick. I can't remember now.
Yep.
Wow,
that's the one. Is that long ago? I forgot that was it. And a Pius Suter tying goal.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, Sherwood was unreal in that game. He's what a player.
Yeah. I know a lot of people on my show have been asking me what's his next contract going to look like, and I'm not sure if you said this. It sounded smart, so I think you might have said it. I might be thinking this too. You got to be careful not to overpay this guy, right? He's 31 years old, and you could get easily tempted or persuaded by saying, "Oh, look at everything he does for us." But I do worry about his body breaking down a little bit. I do worry about, is he going to try and go for whatever, 4 or 5 million over 5 years? And I'm not sure if that's the wisest thing. I don't know. I think there's a lot of time to make that decision, but what are your thoughts on? Yeah.
It's his only chance at a big contract in his career, right? Yeah. Like, he's a guy who has made very little in relative terms, right? He's making $1.5 million US dollars a year. He's doing okay. But, relatively, right? Like if you look at his contracts, it was entry level, $925 a year for 2 years, then a $750 for 1 year, then a $750 for another year, then $750 for another year, then $775 in Nashville, and then we signed him for 2 times 1.5. So, again, like it's his estimated career earnings are about $4 million. And after this year, it'll be like 5.5, whatever.
Right.
But if he has the chance to get a 5-year deal somewhere and someone's going to pay him $4 million a year, right? That this is his only chance to do that. So, that's what I would expect, for him to capitalize on that. And if he can get a $20 million, $25 million contract, more power to him.
Yeah. It's really, really interesting. And, obviously the Quinn Hughes potential extension on July 1st, that's going to be the biggest news that's going to dominate. But yeah, there's a couple UFAs that kind of intriguing in Sherwood. Fine, Lanky, he's 30 right now. He'll be 31 by the time his new contract comes. How's that? Is that okay for you, Lanky?
Yep, that's the number that matters.
Yeah, it's just him, Kane, Wow. Sherwood, Bluger, Kane, all UFAs, Reichel, RFA, Linus Carlson, UFA, Max Sasson, not Sasson anymore, UFA, Derek Forbert, UFA. Wow, we had like 6 or 7 UFAs this season.
Yeah, a lot of budget guys, but yeah. What impressed me the most about Kiefer Sherwood tonight is he had one play in the third period where he skated up the middle and took a wrist shot. Or maybe it was overtime. Takes a wrist shot up the middle. And it said on the screen it was like 96.5 miles an hour.
Wrister?
Yeah. Like just a wrist shot skating up the middle, like a little toe drag, to change the angle, and a wrist shot. And it's at like 96.5. That's crazy. I think that number must have been wrong, but that impressed me.
Is that the same play that, remember in overtime where Petey got tripped? I thought that could have been a penalty. Like, the guy stuck his leg out on him.
He hung the leg a little bit. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But you didn't think it was that egregious?
I didn't think it was that egregious. No, I think it was, he made the move into the middle, and the guy hung the leg a little bit, but it was sort of like hip on hip. Yeah. Maybe not. The NHL Edge says Sherwood's hardest shot was 89 this year. So maybe that was just a wrong number.
Okay. Yeah. 96 off a wrister. That's pretty impressive.
Well, maybe they haven't uploaded tonight's game in there yet.
That's fair too. That is fair too. Wow. Okay. You want to look ahead? We don't want to talk about Minnesota and St. Louis. It just seems so far away, but you want to talk?
3 games up in the next week and 2 very winnable ones. Again, similar story to coming into this week where we've been saying, like, you got to win these games on the teams ahead of you, because the Canucks are going into a gauntlet. They have 2 easy games, quote unquote, and then they go into a 6-game gauntlet. Tomorrow, Wednesday, 7:00 at home, hosting Bedard and the Blackhawks. Should be a very winnable game. Saturday, 2 days off. Saturday, 7:00 at home against Columbus. Should be a very winnable game. And then it is 11 days in the gauntlet of Colorado, Winnipeg, Carolina, Tampa, Florida, Dallas.
Oh,
so you better win these next couple, because they're going to be in it very soon.
So can you imagine that 6? You could call those 6 legitimate Stanley Cup contenders, Parker.
Right after facing 5 legitimate bottom feeders.
Yeah, it would be great. You're right. And I think, it would be great to take this Chicago and Columbus games. Then you're banking those points. Now you're 9-7, right? And then let's say you don't go 0-6, God forbid, but let's say you go 2-4 or 2-3-1 or whatever, then you're still flirting. But yeah, it just shows you how, at the same time, we just talked about, if you want to get 15 games over 500 to get to our 97 points, you got to be 3 games over 500 per month. And it just shows you how quickly it can close. Because can you imagine if we do crappy in those 6 games, and then you're going to that crazy American Thanksgiving, target date, and you might be playing 500 hockey, and you're basically out of it already.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tricky spot to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, the schedule's very even, I think. It's just this weird stretch of like really bad teams and then really good teams. Which is a bit concerning.
Yeah, I agree. So let's looking at the 3 games before our next show. Chicago, Columbus, Colorado. Is it a simple 2-1?
Well, keep in mind, all 3 of these teams have better records than we do right now.
What? Okay.
Yeah. The Chicago Blackhawks they're 5-5-3, so they're also 500. Yeah. Technically, they've won less games. But they have a positive goal differential. We don't. They've also lost 3 in a row.
Right.
Columbus is, I think, 7-5. Yeah, 7-5-0. And then Colorado has only lost once in regulation. But I'll call it right now. Canucks Avs. Canucks win in overtime. Easiest call of my life. Colorado is 7-1-5 already this year. They have lost 5 games that have gone past regulation, and only 1 in regulation. So no one can beat them in 60 minutes, but everyone can beat them if it gets deeper than that.
Well, that is good news for us. And I know you and I have talked about this before, like 6 Novembers ago, that 7-6 win, I think, right? Canucks over Colorado at home. Besser went off for 5 or 6. Petey went off for not goals, points, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yep, the bank pass.
Yes, into the corner.
Off
Very
the back
good.
corner. Yep.
Very good.
I remember that. I remember that night very vividly because that was a sweet game.
Were you at the game?
Nope, I was in my basement.
Okay, so that's bold. So you think beating Colorado in extra time? I didn't.
Everyone
let you
has.
Yeah.
Every game that's gone to OT for them, like every game that doesn't go to OT, they win. Every game that goes to OT, they lose.
Yeah.
Like their OT games have been. They lost 5-4 to Dallas in a shootout. They lost 4-3 to Utah in overtime. 5-4 to the Hurricanes in a shootout. 4-3 to the Devils in overtime. And then on Saturday they lost 3-2 to the Sharks in overtime.
Wow, that's sort of reminding us that 7-6 game was Pettersson's rookie year, and another 5-point game for St. Louis. Sweet. So, here's another theory too. Like to jump ahead to that gauntlet of 6 of the 6 contenders. If we're looked at as a lesser team, like I haven't studied all their schedules and stuff. Do you think we could see some backup goaltenders though? You know what I mean? Like we're not playing against their best. I don't know.
Potentially, yeah. I'm curious on the schedules. So Chicago played tonight. They lost to Seattle, so they're on a normal rest.
Yeah.
Columbus will also. We're on 2 days rest for that game. Columbus will also be on 2 days rest. They also play Wednesday in Calgary. And have the full 2 days.
Yeah.
And then we play Colorado on Sunday. That will be a back-to-back for them.
For us. And for them too.
Is it a back-to-back for us as well?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Columbus is the day before, yeah.
Okay. Well, both teams are on back-to-backs. Yeah. Colorado plays in Edmonton the night before, and we've got them on the Sunday. So I would imagine both starters are going Saturday, and then you'll get the backups on Sunday.
So are you going Lankinen, Demko, Lankinen? Or are you going Demko, Lankinen?
I think I'm going Demko, Lankinen.
Okay.
Just thinking, they have, it's a normal Wednesday game, regular sort of schedule.
Yeah.
And then 2 nights off, you can go Demko again, and then, Langton the following night. Now, again, you have that decision to make, right? You're like, okay, well, are we going to be competing with Colorado at some point for points? Probably not. So it's not really a 4-point game. So, does it really matter who you start against Columbus, who you start against Colorado? If you're thinking, hey, let's just do everything we can to get the 2 points against Columbus, run Demko out there while we're not on a back-to-back and we're not all tired, and then give Langton the Avs.
And you're fine playing Demko on Wednesday night despite the travel tonight for national. That's fine, right? That's what the extra day's for?
Every other NHL starting goalie would be fine.
Sarles has played 12 of 14, I heard. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think like again, I am worried about Demko's health because he's had issues.
Yeah.
But again, if the Canucks were 10-4 right now, I'd be like, all right, we can put Lankinen in wherever you can, right? Even out the workload. But if this team wants to make the playoffs, which they've constantly said they will, the 50-50 split might not work because I don't think, based on what we've seen so far, this doesn't look like a 102-point team. This looks like a 96, 97-point team. And if, every game you put Lankinen in, you're losing potential for points.
Yeah.
And, if you finish the season with 92 points, but you started Lankinen 35 times, you might be looking back and saying, well, what if Demko started 6 more games?
Isn't it crazy what a season makes? Like what a difference a season makes. Last year, we were like trotting out Lankinen as the best find, the best signing in history. Or, that's a bit of a hyperbole, but you know what I mean. And this year, he just hasn't found his game just yet. And I don't know if that's a function of the team not being strong whenever he plays for some reason, or if the difference between the two goalies is that marked now. And thank God we have Demko, right? Remember, there's a couple people were saying, "Oh yeah, we can trade Demko now because we have Lankinen and Shilovs." I don't know how, although Shilov's been good, but I don't know how that would have gone.
Yeah, and Lankinen was a slightly above average goalie last year, right?
Yeah.
League average was around 900. He was a 902.
Okay.
But this year, he hasn't found it. He's been an 885. His goals against average has gone from 262 to 353.
Wow.
Which, it's a jump. Sure, it's only 6 games, but, you need him to figure it out. Again, we don't have the time this season to give a guy a bunch of time to figure something out because every game that we lose, you fall a little further and further behind the 8 ball and suddenly you start running out of time.
Yeah.
Because we're in 3 months, there will be a 3-week break and then it's March.
Yeah.
Right. The Canucks play like 5 games in February at most. So, it's a condensed schedule. There's a lot of games coming and, you don't really have time for guys to figure it out.
Yeah. By the way, she loves his numbers and I don't have buyer's remorse. Like I 100% were behind what the team did and what they had to do. Yeah. 913, 266, pretty good numbers for Shilovs. 3-2.
Yeah. Everything's gone right for Pittsburgh to start the season, right? Malkin has 16 assists already. Crosby's on pace for 55 goals again. Everything is going right for Pittsburgh. I'm sure they'll fall down to earth. But they're just running Shilovs and Jari as a tandem, and they're at 913 and 911. I don't think that can last.
Right.
I'm sure there'll be a part or a time where Shilovs falls off a little bit, but then, oh no, they have to play Tristan Jari, who's still a really good goalie more, and he'll do just fine. But I still don't really believe in the Penguins all that much.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's been a surprising start for sure. And yeah, it's a feel good story, not for Shilovs, but for people who like Crosby and Malkin and those guys. Yeah. Very, very interesting. We shall see. Okay, so what's your prediction for these next 3 games?
Yeah, I'll take the 2-1. And I think the loss is whatever the second game was, Columbus, because I'm sticking with that overtime win against Colorado.
I love it. I will not declare. No, I was going to say 2-1, but I went with a very boring and predictable. I'm not saying they're pushovers, but I think they'll beat Chicago and Columbus and lose to Colorado. So
hope they win Wednesday because I'll be there.
Oh, you're going? Sweet. Well, I hope they win.
Me too.
Yeah. How's your record recently? I know your away record sucks.
Yeah, away record's not good. Home record is about how the team has been.
Right, because you go.
It's been pretty normal.
Yeah. I know a couple of guys who've gone to the 2 games, the 2 shutout losses at home. So they're not
allowed to go anymore.
Love it. All right. Well, enjoy Wednesday. My next game isn't until I'm going Tuesday the 11th to see the Jets. Yeah.
Excellent. That'll be
very good.
A tough one.
Yeah. They all are. What am I talking about? There's been 2 shutout losses at home. Only 1, 2-0. What's that guy telling me then? Oh well, worry about later. All right, to the people for 10.
Let's go to the people.
All right.
If you guys got questions, throw them in the chat. Now is the time that we circle back on. Well, we'll look back at some previous ones. You say
that there. Oh yeah, there's a question. You're right. You told me last week there's a question icon now.
Yeah, but there's no way to filter to it, which is silly because I always just say, let's just filter to the questions.
Yeah.
But no, you have to just scroll anyways, so it doesn't really matter.
I hear what you're saying. Well, I got one. Oh, you first. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Perfect.
When Forbert comes back, who is our number 6? Is it Elias Pettersson, Mancini, or Verlander? I think Verlander goes back down potentially, although I think he's looked pretty decent.
Yeah, I was going to say he's the wild card to me. I think EP25 stays. They're basically sold on him. So yeah, you're deciding between Forbert, Mancini, or Verlander.
It's tricky. Forbert to me is textbook 6 or 7 demon.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can put him in the press box for 30 games.
Yeah.
Not in a row ideally, but you know, he can play 40, sit 30. And you're not too worried about like his development, right?
Yeah, I'm setting Mancini down, you know. I think he's been unsteady, and I think Verlander has shown rapid improvement. I'm going EP25 and then Verlander, Forbert. Those three are your battling for those 2 spots, but Verlander can be your number 7. Yeah.
What's the Forbert timeline?
I don't know. They don't like talk about him.
Yeah, he's on LTIR for undisclosed.
Yeah, what's undisclosed?
Well, that's the magic. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? Like if it's a week from now, then it's like, okay, well, you know, that how does Verlander do the next couple days? But if it's 2 months from now, you know, like who knows by then?
Let's speculate. Let's say Hito and Höglander and Garland all come back. So let's say it's February. Let's say it's March. After the Olympics, everyone's healthy. What would you do with the Lions?
Oh my God, there's gonna be so many variables by then because Evander Kane might have 40 goals or something silly, or he might have been traded. I think that's way too far out to speculate.
Okay, that's fair. I'll go very quick. I'll go Petey, Garland, Kane. I'll go DeBrus, Besser, Hedel. Then I'll go Reichel, Sherwood. No, I'll go Sherwood, Höglander, whoever's left. Ratu,
yeah.
And then Bluger with O'Connor and Reichel. Do I want Reichel on a Carlson? And then the 3 Abbotsford guys aren't playing. Yeah, which isn't a bad thing.
What about McEachern?
Yeah, true. Okay. Peter, ask us in 2 months. GMLV needs help. Do you trade Sherwood at the deadline for a first? I don't think you're getting a first. Or resign him at 5
first either.
No.
And that's that question fully depends on where you are in the standings.
Yeah.
If the Canucks are 3rd in the Pacific, he's a rental at that point.
Yep.
You don't trade him. You probably don't re-sign him right there either, and you just let him walk to free agency and circle back if you can.
Yeah. You heard the rumors about Stamkos from Dollywall?
Yeah, he. Did you notice him tonight?
Once. I heard his name once.
Right, you heard his name once, but did you notice him?
No, I did not.
No,
I did not.
No, he was invisible, and he has 1 point this year.
What?
I
didn't know that.
Points. I think he's got a goal and an assist. Maybe.
No, I believe you. It's just shocking to hear that.
He has 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points in 14 games.
Oh my gosh,
he has been utterly invisible for them. So no, I'm not taking it. Like they would have to pay a lot for me to take him because he's got this year and 2 more at $8 million.
Wow.
With a full no move. So
him.
that is,
Marcia Show and Brady Shea, those are the 3 big pickups Nashville did last season, and Nashville, Vancouver, and I think the Rangers were the 3 most disappointing teams last year.
Yeah, and look, like they've got I think Shea is good, and I think he's they signed him for 7x7, and I think he's been okay for them, and then Marcia Show. How's he doing? He's got 6 points in 11 games, so he's doing fine. He's got $5.5 million through 2029, so four years. But yeah,
$5.5's not bad. Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
But Stamkos, he's 34. Stamkos is 35 now, and he is just fallen off a cliff.
Yeah, I hear you. Just to make us sad, would you rather see your team lose the way the Blue Jays did, or blown out like the Canucks did?
Actually, I can answer this pretty well because I've seen both. Seahawks 2014.
Great point.
With the pick on the 1 yard line. And obviously the Canucks, it's different because with the Canucks losing, by the time the final horn went, you had sort of already like processed it a little bit.
Yeah.
And there wasn't like an immediate heartbreaking moment. But also it's hard because the Canucks would hurt me way more because the Seahawks had won the Super Bowl the year before. So
Right.
I don't know. I think both are bad.
All things being equal, let's say I was the exact same fandom as the Blue Jays or Vancouver, or whatever equivalent you want to make. Yeah, I think I would still see a heartbreaking, dramatic, last-minute extra time loss than a blowout loss, just because at least you feel like you have a chance at the very end.
Yeah,
it might
that
sting
point's
more.
50-50.
Yeah, exactly. What's wrong with the PK? Says Zal.
It's a good question. What's our PK at right now? Do we have numbers on that?
Probably not good.
I can get us numbers really quick here. Let's
Sure.
go PK percent, sort low to high, I'm assuming. Oh, this feels like a couple years ago.
71, 68?
69.4.
Oh.
So sub 70. Sixth worst in the NHL. Not great. The center's at 62.5.
Yeah, not having Bluger or Forbert, certainly that hurts.
It hurts, but it shouldn't be the whole thing.
Yeah, structurally, every team does this, but Canucks are very susceptible to the passes into the bumper or a cross ice pass. Like I just don't. They're just not good at blocking the cross ice pass.
Yeah, the median. The median is 79%.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
We're 10 below that. That's brutal.
Yeah,
that's brutal. What do you think? Is it tactical? Is it personnel?
I don't know. It feels like they're just getting hemmed. Like they're not getting the clears. I don't know. It's so hard to tell because you're not seeing like. It's not like I'm seeing like critical mistakes, but it's also like I'm not seeing them preventing the high danger chances. Which to me, like I'm very like power play. I think can be very personnel driven, right? Like I think if you had Edmonton's power play, or Edmonton's power play personnel, and you had me coaching it, I think they're at 35% right now. I think they'd be at like 28% because I would just say, put McDavid out there, put Draisaitl out there, put Bouchard out there. Like, whereas I think the penalty kill is so much more structural because it's not a talent driven thing. Like there's some guys who are very good on the penalty kill. But also like, I think anyone can be good on the penalty kill because it's a knowledge, it's placement and it's strength, right? It's being willing to take a block and win a battle. So I'm of the mind that power play is mostly, it's sort of 50-50 structure and personnel, whereas penalty kill to me is like 80-20 structure. Right. And when I see 70%, like the Canucks have guys that can kill penalties, and sure, Bluger's one of the best, but like, they still have guys that should be able to kill penalties. And like I'm looking at the teams around them at the bottom of the list here on PK, and it's some of the worst teams in the league, right? It's the Kraken, it's the Blues, it's the Sharks, it's the Blue Jackets, it's the Wild, and it's the Sens. And it's a tough place to be.
Yeah. Let's end with this one. I like this one. Who do you think is the best team in the league right now? I'll start. I'm going with the Jets. I think they're 9-3. They have no extra time losses, unlike the farcical. Just kidding. Colorado's fine. But I think when everyone's on, you got Hellebuyck on D, you got strong on goal, you got strong defensemen in Morrissey and Pionk and all those guys. And I still love their mix of forwards. They're getting a little bit older with Scheifele and stuff, but he's leading the league in points. I just like the way the Jets are made up. So I'm going Winnipeg.
Yeah, I put Winnipeg and Dallas as very similar teams to me, where they're just very solid. Like it just never really gets easy against them. Yeah. Right. And then you have like Colorado, who is more, high flying and offensive firepower sort of style. Yeah. Which to me, I look at that and that makes me go, Winnipeg, Dallas, that sort of tier. Sure. Because, and then to me, like, again, I see Winnipeg and Dallas is very similar, but then you have Hellebuyck and, he's just the best goalie in the league. and that takes them above. So I'd say if I had to put my chips behind a team right now, it probably would be Winnipeg. But again, like Vegas is a runaway for is in 2 weeks they could just pop off 7 wins, right? And same with Edmonton, and same with Dallas, and same with Colorado. Whereas I'm not too worried about some other teams doing that same thing.
Right.
So
I think if Vegas had better goaltending, they'd be up there for sure because their offense is sick. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah. Awesome. Very, very good. Good show. That was fun. I'm ready for the gong, by the way. I'm ready for it. Oh, you forgot? You actually forgot?
No, I would have seen it when I went to close it out. We'll mix that in.
7-7. Okay. Well, I'll take it. 2-1.
Could be worse. Could be better. Treading water. Hopefully we have a good week. Folks, we'll be back next week. Hit subscribe. Do all the normal stuff. YouTube, subscription, notification bell, leave a comment, hit like, all that good stuff. If you're watching on the X or Twitter side, come over to the YouTube side. Canucks After Dark, search for it. It'll be there. Make sure you're subscribed. If you missed any part, you can rewind back to the beginning. You can also find this on your favorite podcast platform in a matter of 10, 15 minutes or so. Clay, any parting words this evening?
Yeah, 2 things for those of you. Thank you.
You wouldn't be ready for it yet.
That was good. That caught me off guard. For those of you coming over, I am doing a show tonight. I originally said it was going to be an open house, which I like to do after we do Canucks After Dark, guys. I don't like repeating myself, but there's enough to talk about tonight's game. So for anyone coming over, I'm actually going to do a true post game tonight, and then I'm moving my open house to tomorrow night. I'm not sure if that changes anyone's mind, but if you want to come over, I'll be doing a show at 11:15. And Parker, just for us, no, I'm going to stand by what I said right at the top. Is without being falsely optimistic, I am. I have a lot of time and patience for what Adam Foote's trying to do despite all the adversity. So these next 3 weeks, it's so easy to say this, but it's going to be the make or break for the season, quite frankly. And it sounds so dramatic, but it's true. So looking forward to journeying through it with you over the next couple of weeks. But it is go time. Enough of the excuses, reasons, blah, blah, blah. We got to get healthy and we got to get going.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thank you all for joining. Have a good night. Hit all those buttons. And we will see you next time.